How to get a guy to ask you out over text. How to get him to ask you out on a date over text. Are you desperately seeking how to get a guy to ask you out over text? Well, this was made to help you out big time. You no longer need to be waiting in agony, wondering how to get him to finally pop the question to you. Here you're going to find some excellent tips and tricks for how to get him to ask you out on a date over text. Texting has become very popular over the last few decades, and it seems lots of important things are said this way now. Keep reading on to learn how to make him like you enough to finally break down and ask you out on an oh-so-special first date. Before we get into what to text him to get him to finally do what you want, you need to know a few things. You never want to be the girl that texts too much. You may like him a lot and want to spend lots of time learning about him. This is understandable when you're really into someone. Though if you're sending him a text every hour or every few hours, this could look very desperate, especially if he is only sending you short responses in return. You're going to eventually turn him off and make him regret giving out his number to you. Along the same lines, when you do text him, don't send him little novel stuff like how your pet wouldn't eat their pet food that morning, or how your neighbor is being disagreeable. This is okay when you're in an actual relationship with him, but not at the start. Keep these little uninteresting details to yourself when trying to pull him into you. Also, don't freak out if he doesn't respond right away. He could simply just be busy with other things at the moment and can't get back to you right away. Don't feel crushed by this. There will be other opportunities, believe me. What text do you send him then for how to get a guy to ask you out over text? Here you will find 2 helpful ways or tricks to get things rolling for you and him. Now that you know not to text him all the time, when you do text him, your text needs to be interesting and stick out from all the other girls who are trying to get his attention. This will help greatly for how to get a guy to ask you out over text. Finally, find out some things about him. You can glean this knowledge from his friends, social media, etc. You might find out that he is a big baseball or basketball fan. You might even find out his favorite team as well. This is your in. You can then send him texts like, "So I hear you're really into insert sport here. What team do you think will make it to the championships this year?" You need to do your research to find out what the big tournaments are for that sport, but it will be worth it. You can ask him about his favorite team and who his favorite player is and why. These will get him talking about his interests and likes. You can even throw in some facts that you learned about the sport as well. Once he sees your interests align, then this will attract him to you more. This same tactic can be done for TV shows, hobbies, etc. You just need to adapt the question for each interest appropriately. This will help greatly for how to get him to ask you on a date over text. Once you got him talking about himself, you can sneak in a playful text the next day or a few days later saying, "I have been craving our conversation." This will grab his attention because it will come off as bold and shake him out of whatever he was doing beforehand, and he will remember you. This will build up desire for you fast and eventually lead him to asking you out. If this doesn't seem to be getting things going, then you can text him the following. Something like, "It's half off Burger Wednesdays at my favorite spot. Let's go grab a burger and drinks tonight." This allows you to really take charge, and he will be put in a position here where he will have to make up his mind quick. If he doesn't have plans, he would think, okay, this was bold, but confidence is sexy, so why the heck not? Or he might just drop what he was doing before and go out with you because it sounds like more fun. So there you have it, what not to do, and how to get him to ask you out over text. So now that you know this, what about getting him to not just like you, but to fall deeply in love with you? What about getting him to devote himself to your complete joy and happiness from here out? Well, wouldn't you love that? Check out the link below or in the description box to learn how to 10x your love life now.